So Newcastle have sent an official bid to RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko worth 90 million euros. And I'm sitting here thinking, Arsenal were smart to walk away. Let's get into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you may be in the world, I hope you're having a great day. And I thought, you know what? With all of the Benjamin Sesko stuff going on, let me put my little spin on it. Let me chip in, let me chime in, let me give my 2 cents. And I think that it's looking crazy. Yeah, it is looking crazy. So let me give the lay of the land from how I understand it. Yeah, you currently have Newcastle United and Manchester United both super interested in securing the future of Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. And RB Leipzig have basically said, we want a minimum of 90 million euros. That's what we're negotiating at. That's our price. That's what we value him at. And if you guys want him, that's what you're going to have to do. And I feel like Newcastle, I feel like both teams probably don't want to pay that. Because I think that's crazy money. They probably think that's crazy money. But Newcastle are probably more inclined to be willing to pay that amount, and they definitely are because they put in the official bid, than Manchester United. And that's because Isak is probably leaving. And they need to know that we have somebody, anybody, that can kind of, to a degree, still get us goals. Probably not the same as Isak, but still keep us competitive. And they've identified Sesko as that person in a dying market. I'll be real, the market for strikers at the moment is dead. Arsenal were very lucky to leave it with Victor Gyökeres. Now, Manchester United, they also need a striker. Their need for a striker is just as important. But they don't want to do anything until they have 100% confirmation from the player that he wants to join them. And I believe that Sesko, that's what him and his agent and his camp are currently discussing. Do we want Manchester United? Do we want Newcastle United? I think he will choose Manchester United. Personally, I think he will choose Manchester United. However, I won't completely rule him out going to Newcastle. I personally need him to go to Manchester United because then it makes, even though I still think it will happen, it makes the deal for Isak a bit more trickier. Because then now Liverpool need to wait even longer because Isak isn't going nowhere until they have someone that can at least try to replace him. Now, my take on the whole matter is that Arsenal were very smart to move away from this deal. Very, very smart. Early on, very, very smart. Like, I think the camp was moving fugazi. I think that, you know, his agent and Leipzig probably combined are trying to move like Sesko is Messi. I feel like that's how they valued him. And it's just a conundrum. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, if Sesko did go to Arsenal, I would have supported him. Everyone knows I wanted Victor Gyökeres instead. But for the money that we're talking, and we haven't even got on to wages. So I think Arsenal were very smart to move on. But before, I continue to walk down that path, let's look at what Fabrizio Romano has actually said. So Newcastle have sent official bid to RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko, worth 90 million euro package. 80 million euros plus 10 million add-ons on the table from Newcastle United. No decision yet from the player. Manchester United confirmed again to RB Leipzig that they will bid if Sesko picks them. Now, this is just my take. I feel like Newcastle feel like they have the upper hand with the club. Manchester United are hoping to have the upper hand with the player. And this is why it makes it such a tricky situation. Because Sesko's going to have to make his mind up. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of today or maybe tomorrow, Sesko's made his mind up. And let's not rule out the fact that he might just say, you know what, I'll stay at Leipzig for another season. He could just say that. Which then makes it even more of a painful kind of like experience, because Newcastle and Manchester United just wasted their time. Hey, they should have seen what Arsenal tried. Arsenal tried. Like, Berto was talking to them, talking to the agents, talking to the camp, talking to the player, and the player never really forced it. The player never really came out and said, yeah, I really want to go Arsenal. He never did that. Never. And that's why I still have a bit of reservations about him doing it for either Newcastle or Manchester United. And if he does, that would signify to me that he realised, I kind of effed up with the Arsenal thing. I don't actually want to be at Leipzig. I actually want to go to the Prem. And now I only have two options. And really and truly, his options are, do I want to play Champions League football this season, or do I want to go to the bigger club? That's kind of what it is for me. It really is what it is for me. So now it's all about, can Eddie Howe sell the project? Or can Amorim, with all of the people that are involved in sporting like direction and decisions, can they convince Sesko of the project? Now, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but I don't think that Sesko is a good enough player for this much chaos to be going on. Like, there's way too much time being put into this player. It should literally be, okay, Sesko, what's the numbers looking like for the wages? Like, are you interested? Do you want to move? Yep. Okay, cool. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, Leipzig, we've got, confirmation from the player that he wants to leave. You see this 90 million euro thing, it's a bit mad. Don't really want to do that. But negotiate a better deal. If they can't, then that last resort, okay, cool, we just paid 90 million euros. To me, it's as simple as that. But this is dragging on too much. And do you know who I blame out of all of this? I blame Sesko's agent. If I was Sesko, I'd be getting a new agent. Obviously, unless if it's a family relative, friend, then maybe not. But his agent definitely doesn't have his best interest at heart, because I think it was his agent that messed up the Arsenal deal for him. Maybe Sesko could have done more himself, but I do think it was mainly the agent that messed up the deal for him. I feel like they was trying to package Sesko as more of an asset than what he actually is. And yeah, man, Arsenal fans, you're like me. So happy that this ain't our problem to deal with. I'm so happy that I'm not dealing with this. And look, when all's said and done, Arsenal got the better striker for £55 million. We haven't paid the add-ons yet. So what? Sesko, 80 million. Because 10 million euros add-ons, 80 million what? That's like 70 million pounds? Wow. 70 million pounds. That's crazy. For 13 goals. That's mad. I get it, it's for potential. Obviously, they're investing for the potential. But then, I also like to think, like, because a lot of people talk about resale value. How much more can you actually get for Sesko if you was to sell him on? Let's say he goes to Newcastle. See, and this is why I think it's a worse deal for Newcastle. No disrespect to Newcastle fans, but I predict over the next 5 to 10 years, Manchester United to do a lot better than Newcastle. I could be wrong, but that's at least what I think. So if Newcastle United sign him, and let's just say Newcastle United have a similar kind of trajectory to what happened the last time that they was in the Champions League and they ended up coming out of it, his value's decreased. And then let's just say the next season, you don't get back in, his value's decreased again. Like, his value will just keep on decreasing, and Newcastle United will have to sell at a loss. Whereas at Manchester United, they're 100 million % getting back into Europe next season, and they're going to do better than 15th. 100%. No shadow of a doubt. It's not even a, yeah, no, not even, I don't even think about it, is what it is. So, at Manchester United, maybe his value will go up, but then it's like, how much will it go up? If he has one of those seasons where like he leads the line, scores like 25 goals, all competitions, then it's looking nice. And then the next season goes in, maybe gets 30, 35, then it's looking nice. And then at that point, they're probably thinking, we don't really need to sell you. And let's just say he has a career where, well, early part of his career where over the next 5 seasons, up to the point where he's like 26, 27, he's like every season consistent, somewhere between 25 to 35 goals. Maybe his value doubles. And then at that point, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, Manchester United made the right move. But you can't predict for that, man. You never know what's going to happen. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where he goes, where he ends up, where he lands. Obviously, I'm here for all the banter. I'm here for all the pain. And the only thing that I do hope is that he goes Manchester United, because then that delays the Isak deal just a bit more and gives, I guess, Isak and Liverpool less time to prepare together and for him to get adjusted and pre-season and training and fitness and all of that. So, yeah, people, let me know in the comments below what you think about this conundrum at the moment. Who do you think is going to come out best? Who do you think is going to come off worse? Like, where do you think Sesko lands? And yeah, I'll catch you next time.